I'm Rob from Barefoot Gaming, and we have got a buttload of hardware to review by VRCover.com. So VRCover.com sent a bunch of different hardware out for me to try and see if any of this is worthwhile. Now, if you're having to ask why, you've clearly never made your face mask either drenched in sweat or gross in just dirtiness and oils and stuff on your face. So that's the number one reason that you would even consider this. The number two would be for comfort. And number three is based on the thickness, and the closer you are to the screen, the wider your field of view is. So those are all things I'm going to touch on all of these. So I'm going to start with a 10mm velour cover that they sent. This one is for the HTC Vive. It's very, very soft. It's very well made. Every single one of the items that they sent is very well made. It doesn't have a homemade feel. It's very professional, so that I can say up front. The issues when you go smaller are both a bonus and a negative. Now, it'll bring your face closer to the lens, which gives you a wider field of view, and it is noticeable. To go to 10mm from, I'm gonna guess that they're like 25 by default, it does give you a wider field of view, but you lose comfort right off the bat because now your face is being pressed closer to the plastic, and even though it is a soft and it has foam inside of it, I felt the edge on the bottom of my cheek, and for extended gameplay, I wouldn't take that trade-off myself. So at $29, again for a 2-pack, this would be my least favorite of all the ones they sent me. It's still neat, but this isn't one I would shell out for. So depending on what you're trying to get out of your VR experience, this might be something that would be perfect for you. For me, not so much. And if you have glasses, I would say even less likely because you have less space for your glasses to fit in the VR headset. So moving on from the velour, I'm going to go straight to the one that is still in my Vive. I freaking love the vinyl or leatherette type cover. If you've ever spent any time in VR, and I'm assuming if you're watching this you have, you'll notice that you can get this thing not just grungy, but you can get it damp. And if you play with other people, it's really, really gross putting on someone else's sweat infused foam onto your face. It doesn't have to just even be dripping down. Just the wetness is kind of gross. This thing is totally wipeable. So as soon as they've had a hard workout session in whatever it was, anything from Space Pirate Trainer, if they were boxing, no matter what it was, this thing you can just wipe down. And they recommend not using an alcohol wipe on any of these, just a basic disinfectant wipe, and it totally works. So you wipe it down, within seconds it's dry, you put it back on your face, and it's always fresh. I love this set. At $29, this one I think is a no-brainer. If you're looking for anything for your Vive, this would be one I would highly recommend. Now I said everything comes in twos, but that's not actually entirely true. They have got a replacement for the deluxe audio head strap. Now on the very back of it, the part that sits on the back of your head, I hadn't even realized how gross mine was getting because every time people were over and they'd play, I'd take off the foam, wash it out, let it dry, it was fine. When I got this piece, I'm like, it kind of feels a little bit unnecessary until I actually looked at mine, and I'm not going to show you, I'm going to leave it down here. So it's made of the same stuff as the one that I highly recommend. So $19 this one, wraps around the back. Again, there is Velcro there, so you just tear it off, line it up, push it in, and it's super comfortable. And last but certainly not least is the Oculus Rift interface kit. Now this one comes a little more complicated than any of the Vive ones because the set isn't designed to just peel off and throw into like a sink type thing. This one's got an actual adapter kit. So what you end up doing is you'll take your Oculus Rift, the entire plastic piece, you'll slide it out, and then they give you a different one to slip in. Now the one that they give you is made of that same material that I love on the HTC Vive. So it's that vinyl leather type material that's totally wipeable. And on top of that, they also include a cloth cover. Now the cloth covers alone run 19 bucks from them. So on the Rift, if you're looking at running with that leatherette type material, you're gonna have to spend the $29 because you need the adapter. There's no way to just Velcro it into place. $19 will get you the cloth cover, and it just kind of wraps around it and has an elastic. It sits much looser than any of the other faceplates because it is just a cover, but it's also super easy to just throw in the wash. It does add a significant amount of comfort right off the bat, just the fact that you have cloth in between. If I throw the fabric on either that leatherette or the one that comes with, it was equally comfortable. So at $19, you can buy just the cloth to sit over top of this, which again, you just throw it in the wash and makes it super easy to clean. The Oculus Rift doesn't have nearly as much absorption, and I've never found it to get as gross when you're sharing it with other people or when you're playing long play sessions. With the Vive, it's that thicker foam, and I find it comfortable. The only problem is it absorbs all that sweat and it makes it super gross. So this one, again, $29, gets you the leatherette replacement. It gets you the plastic insert piece that you can change it up with either the leatherette or with the velour, and it also gives you a cloth cover. The cloth cover is $19, again, if you just want to cover up the one that you have. And the only other thing, like I kind of mentioned, was the velour. So there is a velour cover as well for the Rift that sits on top of the $29 kit. In all honesty, I didn't find it very comfortable. This is one that I would probably say would be my least favorite of all of the editions. I like that leather material across the board. Now, if you guys are in Texas, or shoot, I mean, we've got viewers from all over the world. So if you're watching this from Africa, you know, maybe this leatherette isn't gonna be fantastic because it's not gonna let your skin breathe and it's gonna get super hot. But speaking for myself, I love it. I would recommend this on both, highly, because the fact that you can keep it clean is massive. And that's the review for the VRCover.com. I have some favorites, I have some that I like not as much, but that's all for today. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye.